The events of recent weeks show us that the pace of hostilities is intensifying not only on the battlefield and in the sphere of economic confrontation, but also in the diplomatic arena. Unfortunately, the Western media continue to withhold from the public any information that somehow casts a shadow on the current ruling circles of Western elites. It is very important for the United States to maintain the image of a good guy who always fights evil for the benefit of all mankind. However, during an era of high technologies and affordable internet, hiding the truth from people is becoming more and more difficult. The event that I want to touch on in this video happened in the late spring of 2023. Unfortunately for the American authorities, everything did not go according to plan, and that is why Western media withheld this information from the residents of the Western Hemisphere. So, the Biden administration decided to carry out the so-called demonstrative flogging of one of the most experienced and respected Russian diplomats. This diplomat is the Russian ambassador to the United States, and his name is Anatoly Antonov. Anatoly Antonov is known for his sharp mind and ability to defend the interests of Russia, seemingly even in the most desperate situations. The American authorities consider this Russian diplomat a serious opponent, and there are valid reasons for this. During numerous debates with representatives of the American authorities, Anatoly Antonov always managed to discourage and put in their place even the most ardent American Russophobes. All this has caused numerous sanctions not only against the Russian diplomat, but also his family members. However, as recent events have shown, the American authorities have not calmed down and decided to try again to organize an attack on a Russian diplomat. At the end of May, the American authorities organized a roundtable meeting at the White House. Ambassadors of all Western countries were invited to this meeting, and the ambassador of the Russian Federation, Anatoly Antonov, was chosen as a whipping boy. As a true patriot of his country, and a man who is not used to running away in the face of danger, Anatoly Antonov agreed to come to this meeting. The American authorities were counting on a complete triumph. They thought that together with the ambassadors of other Western countries they would be able to humiliate a Russian diplomat, and that the whole world would see this humiliation. But, everything didn't exactly go according to plan. The provocateurs not only failed to humiliate the Russian ambassador, but at the same time they themselves found themselves in an awkward position. Anatoly Antonov knew the true purpose of those present at the meeting, and therefore, immediately went on the offensive by asking Western diplomats a few uncomfortable questions. I am addressing all those present here at the roundtable. Why did the United States impose sanctions against a number of countries, accusing them of allegedly supplying weapons to Russia, but at the same time Washington itself continues to openly supply weapons not only to Ukraine, but also to many other neighboring countries? That is, according to Washington's logic, no one has the right to supply weapons to other countries except the United States itself? Don't you think this is an indicator of the highest degree of hypocrisy? Anatoly Antonov asked. The Russian diplomat also added that it is the United States is a threat all over the world, having unleashed more than 40 armed conflicts in almost all hemispheres of our planet. Do not forget that it was the United States that installed nuclear weapons throughout Europe. And do you all really think that this contributes to peace on the continent? The Russian diplomat concluded. From such uncomfortable questions, all the Western diplomats present at the meeting began to exchange glances and awkwardly lower their gazes. Of course, Anatoly Antonov never received answers to his questions. Later, the Western media also decided to ignore this meeting. And that's why the brilliant speech of the Russian diplomat has never reached a larger Western audience. And this should not be surprising. Once again, the West has tried to hide what is unprofitable for it. But the truth can never be hidden from those who seek it.